Hello children, welcome to social class. Last class we already completed first and second Anglo-Maratha War, that is in the lesson the extension of the British rule. And today's class we are learning about the third Anglo-Maratha War. And it was held in the year 1817 to 1818. We already learned that as the first and second Anglo-Maratha War, how it took place and with whom it was taken a place and how it was came to be an end. We learned it is none other than there is a enmity or a clashes began between the Maratha families. We learned starting as the Marathas, they installed a Mughal emperor and it was made there as British to go against with the Marathas, and later afterwards in order to get there as a post of Peshwas, how they fought against with each other. That all we learned in the first Anglo-Maratha War. And the second one we learned that as clashes began between there as a Maratha chieftain we learned. And now in the third Anglo-Maratha War, what is the main reason and how it was taken place, let me learn one by one. As a Maratha families, they tried their best in order to protect or in order to safeguard their independence and also honor. And also even along with that Peshwas also, they tried their best. Starting as a Maratha families or Maratha chieftain and also Peshwas, they quarreled against each other, we learned. And now here we are learning that as the Marathas, they tried their best in order to protect their independence and also honor. For that reason, they tried their best, we learned. And along with that, the Peshwas also, they tried their best and they want to get out from or they come out from that clutches of companies, we learned. For that reason, as the Peshwas, they attacked the British resident. They attacked British resident Pune in order to come out from the clutches of a company. As a Peshwas, they attacked the British resident, that is Pune, and also later afterwards it was burned it also. Means that they burned that places also in order to get a protection or in order to safeguard their protection, we can consider. And even as about in a Maratha family, nearly two families are in that. One is Nagpur, another one is the Holkar. As about in a Nagpur, Appa Sahib, and here Malhara, Appa Sahib from Nagpur, and also the Malhara from Holkar family. They both also fought against with the Britishers. They fought against with the Britishers, but also they suppressed ruthlessly or also they defeated from their part. Also we can consider. Finally, as about the Peshwas, again they are coming that we learned that they attacked the British resident, that is in Pune, and also even afterwards they burned it also, we learned. And even finally as a Peshwa, that is Balaji Bajirao II, Balaji Bajirao II, he was attacked the British places, that is Aspi and also Oregon. These two places also it was attacked. It is the British places. Starting they attacked Pune and later afterwards as Balaji Bajirao II, he was attacked the British place, that is Aspi and also Oregon. And even though they attacked, but also they didn't get their success. Here also they surrendered themselves to Britishers. And finally, as a Britishers, they are knowing about this development. For that reason only, what Britishers they are doing here means they are abolishing that Peshwa post. This Peshwa post only, it was abolished by Britishers. Earlier post was there and it was in order to get a recognized or it is a chance for British to come over there as we learned. But now that was only it was giving a problem. For that reason, as the Britishers they abolished the Peshwa post and also Balaji Bajirao for him they are giving there as a pension and also even they are appointing there as a one person that is a Pratap Simha. Pratap Simha. They appointed Pratap Simha for that place that is a Satara. It's a small place. Satara. Britishers they appointed Satara, appointed as a Pratap Simha for a Satara. That is a small place as a traditional leader. And even as a post for Peshwa, it was abolished by a Britishers. And also even they are granted there as a pension to a Balaji Bajirao. And through this we can see that as a Maratha family, entire Maratha family, it was suppressed ruthlessly we can consider. So this is a way we can understand that as how these three, first, second and the third Anglo-Maratha war, it was came to be an end here. So first and the second it was having an agreement or a treaty, that is the Treaty of Salbai as the first and the Treaty of Basin as the second. But here as the Britishers they defeated in every part, that is in the Maratha family and also even in the Peshwa. As a post also it was abolished by them. So here Marathas they suffered a lot. So here this part all about the Anglo-Maratha war it was came to be an end. And also Britishers they are completed their agenda to rule or in order to rule over entire India from 1880 to 57. How it was came to be end or how it was brought there as a next event, important event. Now let me learn about one by one here. Yes, just as I told that as Britishers they completed their agenda in order to rule the complete or entire India from 1880 to 1857. They completed here. They came for that end part here, and also even they occupied many other places in like Punjab, Sindh. Like I said, major part or major state it was occupied by Britishers, and even though they occupied some other small places also. Now let's learn about another one most important thing, that is I already told in the starting itself as about nearly 3 places as a war it was held between Britishers and other part as Mysore or about Maratha and also about the Sikh we learned. Just now we completed Anglo-Maratha war. Now we are learning about the Anglo-Sikh war. That is about the Punjab matter we are learning now. Anglo-Sikh war. It took in the year 1845 to 1846. Children, it won't be there in your textbook. Please note it down in your book. As about what is the reason behind that? As about the political anarchy, it was held or it was prevailed or about it was broke out in Punjab even after the death of Ranjit Singh. We learned starting this as about Ranjit Singh. He got there as a success in order to organize there as a 6 we learned that is in the 19th century we learned in the beginning itself. As a person he was died. Even after the death of Ranjit Singh there was no people will be there to rule over that part or about the Punjab as it was creating there as a political anarchy. Punjab. And also what is their main intention here means violating the as a continuous friendship act. Violating continuous friendship act. And also they are violating here for a continuous as about this was there earlier as a continuous friendship act it was there, but also even afterwards this is Ahmad Pan right now. And also this one it was violated by whom? It is none other than Britishers, and it was creating the as a the what is it a fought or about the enmity between the as a Punjab and the Britishers. Then only it was held as a one war, that is none other than Anglo-Sikh War, that is in the year 1845. As about this is the result whenever as a Britishers they are violating a continuous friendship pact, then only it was started there as one of the war. It is none other than first Anglo-Sikh War, and it was held in the year 1845. Now, as about sensing a danger from outside forces, as a Sikh, Hindus and Muslims, they are combined together or about they are going together in order to defeat the Britishers. Here Sikhs, Hindus and Muslims, they made a union. They are going together to defeat the Britishers. But also even as this goes or even as they are going on the way of to getting there as a victory, but because of some other as a few traitor leaders, they are getting or they are accepting their defeat here. What's the meaning of a traitor? It is none other than they are opposing that part or about Deshaprastha we can or Rashtrapaksha we can consider. Deshaprastha as a people as about they are only called as a traitor. See, even whenever they are started or going or fought against with the Britishers as a Sikh and the Britishers, that war only we told that as a first Anglo-Sikh War we learned that, and it was held in the year 1845 we learned just now. And also we learned that as a sensing a danger from outside forces, these three unions they going together in order to defeat the Britishers, but they are on the way to get a victory or a success. But what happened here means as a few traitor leaders they made them to accept their defeat here. And finally as these six people they had to be go for a sign or they signed the treaty. They are signed the Lahore Agreement. In order to end up that war, they had to go for or they signed the humiliating Lahore Agreement, that is in the next year means 1846. When they signed for a treaty, this battle also or this war also it was came to be an end. But as according to this agreement, what they have to do here means they have to be accept what they are telling or what Britishers they are telling. One is that as a British resident, he was became as a de facto leader in Punjab. De facto leader in Punjab. As a Britishers, according to this agreement, British resident, he became as a de facto leader in Punjab. What the meaning of a de facto? It is a real administrator we can consider. As a Britishers, they became as a administrator in a Sikh part or a ruling part of a Sikh we can consider. And even though as a whenever these all progress or these all development it was taken from a British side, it was opposed by Punjab or a Sikh people. Why? Because one is that as a Britishers they are ruling directly in the Punjab. One. Another one is that they had to be accepted or also whatever as a person or British resident only became as a de facto leader here. So they had to listen here. Listen. For that reason, again Sikh they are going against with the Britishers. That only we can call it as that is the second Anglo-Sikh War, that it was held in the year 1848 to 49. were two people, as one is the Mulraj in Multan, and also about another one person. He is none other than Chatta Singh Atirwal. Chatta Singh Lahore, and even Mulraj in Multan. They also supported in order to go against with the Britishers. That is, we can call it as a Second Anglo-Sikh War. But here also, as the Britishers, they defeated against Sikh people, and also finally during that time in the year 1848, as a Governor General of India, as Lord Dalhousie, he was merged this Punjab into their empire, means British Empire. Here, this Second Anglo-Sikh War also it was came to be an end in the year 1849. I hope you are understanding about this topic. Just now I told that as a Third Anglo-Maratha War, and then afterwards I told that as how it was consolidated that British power. Then we learned about the most important point, that is the Anglo-Sikh War. As the first Anglo-Sikh War, that is the main reason will be that it is none other political anarchy. It was broke out in Punjab even after the death of Ranjit Singh, that is in the year 1839 we learn. And even as while getting this situation, Britishers they utilized this situation and they started or they attempted to invade Punjab, and as in order to violating there as a continuous friendship pact, and whatever friendship it was there, in order to break that, that's the main reason of Britishers they invaded Punjab in order to violating there as a continuous friendship pact, and so suddenly it was brought there as an enmity between British and Sikh, and that moment we can call it as that is the first Anglo-Sikh War. It was held in the year 1845 till 1846 it was taken we learn. And also even as a Sikh they are knowing about dangers of the outside forces. For that reason they are making or they are combinedly, they are togetherly, they are going in order to fight against with the Britishers. It is none other than Sikh, Hindus and Muslims here. And finally they got they are getting or they are on the way to get there as a success, but because of some other traitors they are losing or they have to accept their defeat here. Finally they came for an agreement, that is none other than Lahore Agreement, and in that agreement they had to listen what Britishers they are telling. One is that is as a British resident was became as a de facto leader in Punjab, and another one most important thing, that is Britishers they are directly ruling in Punjab. So it was opposed by again by Sikh people, and in that Chatta Singh Atirwal in Lahore and also Mulraj from Multan, they are opposed here. Again battle it was taken. That one only we can call it as a Second Anglo-Sikh War. It was held in the year 1848 till 1849 it was taken, but here also Sikhs they got there as a defeat. And finally during 1848 as a Governor General, Lord Dalhousie, he was merged this Punjab with the British Empire. Here like this time this battle or this Anglo-Sikh War also it was came to be an end. Now let me learn about the last topic of this lesson, that is Lord Dalhousie and his policy, that is a doctrine of lapse. During this time, Lord Dalhousie, he arrived in India as a Governor General. in the year 1848, and he was attempted to integrate that princely state with the British Empire. And also even in order to make or in order to integrate a princely state, what he was doing here means he was adopted there as one policy that only we can call it as that is a doctrine of lapse. Now let me learn about it. According to a doctrine of lapse, what it was telling here, if Indian rulers, or according to a doctrine of lapse, it's in Kannada we can call it as Dattu Makkalige Hakkilla. The word itself it was telling that as adopted children, they are not getting any right or a legal right. When they are adopting here means if a king, he was not having that as a children, yes or no? So here, according to this policy or the doctrine of lapse policy, if any Indian ruler, they are not having any children when he was died, or whenever he was died, he was not having any children means he has to adopt a children or he has to adopt a child. When he was adopted a child, he was not getting any right or a legal right in their throne or of his throne we can consider. As a father he was having a throne that it was not getting or he was not getting any right over that throne. That is only we can call it as it is a doctrine of lapse. If any Indian ruler, he was died without a children, then his adopted child, he was not getting any legal right, and also even that place it was merged with the British Empire. That is the main policy it was told by Lord Dalhousie. Because of that sake only, as a princely state like a Satara, Nagpur, Udaipur, Sambalpur, Jhansi, like this and many other places, it was came under the control of a British Empire. Even as a Governor General, that is Lord Dalhousie, he knowing about this situation. For that reason only, he brought this policy as a political weapon. According to this political weapon, he can take there as many other places under British Empire or under the control of British Empire. But with the implementation of this policy, as not only a princely family but also as a ordinary common people also, they started to show their sympathy towards the Indian kings, and also they are showing there as enmity with the British people or British Empire. So they are also started to go against with the Britishers, and in that we can see there as they are love towards their king, and also their sense of loyalty we can see, and it was bringing there as many other rebellion in this part, and that only resulted as one of the most important rebellion. It is none other than Sipahi Mutiny. Sipahi Mutiny, and it was held in the year 1857. It is also called as the first war of Indian independence. And this war or this matter as a Sipahi Mutiny or a first war of Indian independence, we are learning briefly in the coming classes. A separate lesson will be there that we are learning briefly. And here we learn about the second lesson of our history part, that is the extension of the British rule. It was came to be an end, and here we learn that as even though Britishers they got there as a control over the southern part and the eastern part, especially that the Bengal provinces, according to the battle, that is the Battle of Buxar, Battle of Plassey, and also about the three Carnatic wars we learned in the last classes, and also even as a person they got there as a control over southern and the western part, and even though north the western side also they got there as a control over India. So here this lesson comes to be an end, and the next class we are learning a new lesson. Till then, take care. Thank you.